record. So today we are going to just look at an introduction to data analytics and Power BI. So let's quickly get to it. Oh, but first of all, we'll look at everything we are going to cover for this particular course. We are going to start with the introduction to business intelligence and Power BI. Then we are just going to run over the course to see all we are going to cover. Then we start with introduction, how to download and install Power BI desktop. Preparing our data set for BI project, like the basic rules. And so just create a free Microsoft account that we are going to use. Then publish the Power BI service and just publish the Power BI web. So these are just the preliminaries. Then we'll now look at getting started with Power BI proper. So that will connect to a data source, transform that data, so and look through some concepts, appending queries, merging queries, and so all of this. So before we go to, so these first two phases are just basic stuff. So the second phase is proper data transformation and modeling. So while the fourth phase is DAX expressions, which is one of the key parts of Power BI itself. Then we'll now go to visualization. So I'm going to be showing you all the tips and tricks of visualization with Power BI and with any other PowerPoint and any other visualization tool. Then we are going to look at how we can leverage on everything available on Power BI. So on to do visualization. So that is everything I've listed here. So we are going to be following them one by one. On this we are going to be following this content one by one till we get to the end, which is set up personal gateway for report refresh. So for today, we are going to start with an introduction to data analytics and Power BI. I don't know if we have any question or should continue. Yes, that's what we are going to look at. So now we are just going to look at business analytics in general. Just as a broad view, what is business analytics? So business analytics is a subset of data analytics. And in simple terms, business analytics is getting insights out of data. So to make business decisions. So we have 4 types of business analytics, or we can also call it scope of business analytics. So which is descriptive analytics. One of them, the first one is descriptive analytics. That is what has happened in the business in the past. So that can be our sales numbers. So that's happened in the past. What have each region sold? What have each zone sold? What have each salesperson sold in the past? What is the portfolio position? What is the deposit position? All of that in the past. So the value it adds to the business is limited, and it gives the hindsight. The hindsight means the past, so associated with the business. So then we now move to diagnostic. So diagnostic is drilling down to know why something is happening. For example, why is there a drop in sales? So looking deep, we say, okay, which region is it coming from? Which branch is it coming from? Okay, or what is causing it? Like, okay, for example, let me just give a scenario. Maybe in June, in the second week in June, we experienced a drop in sales. So the question will be, where is it coming from and why did it happen? So when we've identified where it's coming from, in some cases, we may see that it's coming from everywhere. So it might be that something happened, maybe about the weather, there was heavy rainfall over the week. That is why there was that drop in sale. Or there's also something we see that we can see that for a particular month, delinquency is high. So why is that delinquency high? So it might be that some people have not received salaries or something into their accounts that they can use to clear off their loan. So things like that. This diagnostic is drilling down to see what has happened and why it has happened. So that gives hindsight into the past and insight into the future. So we now move up to predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is the future, forecast into the future, what will happen in the future. But before you get to predictive, you have to understand the data very well, which you will get in descriptive and diagnostics. So understanding the data. So without understanding that data, you cannot do predictive analytics. But it's the feedback from descriptive and diagnostics that we can predict, because you can't predict what you don't understand. You can't predict what you don't know. So predictive analytics is what will happen in the future. So that is pure business insight. While prescriptive is how can we turn the best outcome into our business as usual. That is just what prescriptive is. So as we move up the ladder, the more value we get out of analytics. Predictive give us more value compared to descriptive analytics. Because if we can predict what will happen in the future, then we can take steps to explore the opportunity or to forestall something not good from happening. So more business value comes with predictive compared to descriptive. And also it's more difficult. The difficulty is higher to achieve and to implement. I don't know if we have a question before I continue. Okay.
For me.
Okay, let me do.
I said for me, I'm okay. It's okay by me.
Okay. Now, we're now going to business intelligence. So business intelligence is just transforming raw data into valuable insights that aid smart decisions. So this is the process of business to just get business intelligence. So before you can start any business intelligence project, you have to first, there have to be a data source where all your data are coming in. Customer data, sales data, performance data, account opening, loans booking, and all of those. There has to be data set. Then we now shape and transform this data. Then we now analyze the data. Then we monitor and track. Then we share the reports with everyone that needs the report. So here are just some few advantages of business intelligence. So it makes everyone have easy access to information. So compared to what we have these days in most organizations, that to get an information is very difficult. So with implementing BI means that everyone can just log on into the system and have access into whatever information that they want. So it also enables real-time analysis with quick navigation. So this we are going to see when we get into our visualization. how we can quickly navigate things instead of going through multiple Excel sheets. On a particular dashboard, we can navigate things around. So I think to just whet our appetites, I'm just going to show us something today and how we can go around it. So helps identify waste in the system, reduce the risks of bottlenecks. So you don't have to rely on someone in IT or someone in MIS to send you information. So the information are readily available to you. And it also helps you to make quick decisions on how to run your business the next day. So also helps you know your business better and improve your decision-making process. So here, we'll now go to business intelligence process. We have different kind of data sources. Like as I said in this other slide, you must get data, then shape or transform, analyze, monitor, then share. So here, you have different data sources. It might be customer data when we are acquiring the customer. Transactions data, the transactions that these customers do, the channels that the customers are onboarded, so the loans or any other product which the customer takes up. Then the financial data, which is the income generated by all these customers stored in GL codes. So all these data, we have them in different data sources, some in Finacle, some in the mobile banking application, some in the CRM application, and all of that. So all these data sources, we now take all these data sources and transform these data sources using queries and all of that. Transform this data source, shape it to the form that to make it analysis ready. Then we now store it in a data warehouse. So after storing in the data warehouse, we now create a data model. All this we are going to see with Power BI. After we create this data model, then we now generate the report. So I'm going to be walking you through this process in creating Power BI reports. So current challenges. So it's also important for us to just know some of these current challenges. So nowadays in organizations, there are routine time-consuming tasks. So there are scenarios where, okay, people today, we have to do a sum, just adding some numbers, and you have to add that numbers every day. Or you have to clean a data in a particular way every day. So that is routine and time-consuming. Power BI takes all this off. So as you also know, so you also receive some reports via email, 50 MB, 25 MB, very large files. So these ones is taken off by Power BI. You don't need to receive or just need to log on into an account and view your report. So nowadays we have high dependencies on IT, so which is still the current scenario that we face these days. And again, this one, I know you can also relate with it, delay in getting reports required to drive performance and highly prone to human error. Power BI takes all this off. So we now go to, we've now seen business analytics and BI. Now we are now going to the tool that we are going to use to implement business intelligence, which is Power BI. So what is Power BI in itself? So Power BI is just a business intelligence tool by Microsoft. And it's put together from 3 components of Excel. These 3 components are the Power Query, Power Pivot, and the Power View. So these 3 things combine together to form the Power BI. So Power Query is what we use for data transformation. If you recall, we talked about data transformation and loading. So that we will do in Power Query. So Power Pivot, we use that for data modeling. So what data modeling is bringing data from different sources and connecting them together to make it ready for report and analysis. While Power View is for data visualization. So that we use for all our beautiful charts and graphs just to show the insights. Yeah, this one is even better than all those PowerPoints. That is far, far better. Okay. No, very soon you'll be dazzling people too. Yeah. So few benefits. So, like as you said, as you rightly asked, that why Power BI? So there are advanced calculations using DAX. So for me, I actually call it simple calculations because there are just some calculations that will help you solve a whole lot of problems. Advanced visualization. DAX is called data analysis expression. So there are formulas. So we will get to see DAX better when we get into that model. It's very interesting code. So advanced visualization, there are a whole lot of visualization, very good visualization and very nice visualizations that we'll be using in Power BI. Then monthly updates. Every month, Power BI consistently updates with new features. So new, that helps you just makes the application easier to use. So ETL is extract, transform, load. So that is a modeling capability. So we will get to explain this more when we go into the course. So ability to connect to various data sources. So with Power BI, you can connect to over 50 data sources with Power BI. So you can share reports in a secure manner, and your reports are interactive. So you can also create applications with Power BI. Just with click of buttons, you can create applications. Okay, so let's now see Power BI versions, which is like the breakdown of Power BI and what you can do with them. So for Power BI, we have two versions of Power BI. We have Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service. So Power BI Desktop is the development area where you get to build all your reports, do all your modeling, write all your formula, do your visualization. While the Power BI Service is where you get to share reports, share and automate reports. This one is just showing us what we can do with the desktop and the Power BI Service. So now, these 7 steps are 7 critical steps that we are going to follow in this course. So first of all, we are going to get data. Then we transform and shape. Then we build models, data models. Then we summarize. Then we visualize the data. Then we share data. Then we now automate. So these are the step-by-step process that we are going to follow to develop a full Power BI report. get data, shape and transform, summarize with measures, build data models, and visualize reports all happen in Power BI desktop. Why share and automate happen in Power BI service? That is the online version. So let's move on. Okay, before we go into preparing our data for BI projects, we are going to just look at what Power BI desktop is and what Power BI service is. Okay. So I will have a suggestion that once we've done 30 minutes, we can just go out of the call and jump in back, so that also the recording will be in bits that you can easily look over. So it won't be like 1 hour straight recording. It might get too long sometimes.
To me, I think I'm okay. We should go on. Don't worry.
Okay.
1 hour is not much. 1 hour is not much for us to listen to.
Okay. And also we have a 40-minute time limit for Zoom. That is another thing. That is why I just want us to break it 30 minutes. Then we come. Sorry.
Okay. Probably what you can do for us is you can prompt us, so we'll go out, we'll come back.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's just go on. So I think let's stop here for this. This is just the introductory part to Power BI. So let me show you what Power BI desktop looks like. I'm just going to open it here. While that is coming up, I also go to the web to open a Power BI service. From the app, yes. Web, yes. Okay. So if you can see my screen now, this is the desktop version. This is the desktop version. Let me go to the web. This is the service. This is Power BI service. So let me quickly show you one report that I created. So you just see what you will, just to whet your appetite. So I'll go to full screen. Okay. So this is the report. I don't know if you can see my screen. So this is the report. So this is showing loan sales and the percentage growth year on year. Oh, top 5 states, bottom 5 states, and supervisor performance. The interesting thing here is that you can navigate these pages. Let me say, for example, I want to go to the second page. The second page is transactions. I can just click on this. And it takes me to the transactions bit. I clicked on this icon here. And it brings me to transactions. So I can see just readily here, I can select segments. You can see select by segment. I can select bronze, for example. I see the performance. Can select gold. I see the performance. So on everything, it impacts everything. So I can also come to this regional position. It's showing in a bar chart. I can change that to a map just by clicking on this link here. So the map will come up now. So it's showing a Nigeria map that has those sales in there. On this dashboard, I can also view by age. So kids, adults, let's select adult for instance. So I'll see the performance. I can also view by channel of usage. ATM, branch, POS, web, so whichever. So let me just pick mobile app for instance. So looking at this, I can see all the transactions by transaction type. And I can also see the trend right here. Let's go back to loan by just clicking this button. Takes us back to loan. So for this loan, if I want to check what this supervisor's team has done, I'll just click on the name of the supervisor. So you can see that it brought a button up here, drew through by the supervisor's name. I click on it. So it brings everything that each salesperson has done. So you can see this salesperson and you can see the loan value that this salesperson has done. And the type of loan the person is selling and just any information that you want to see, you can just put it here. I can also click on back. That will take me backwards. Again, I think there is a hidden slicer panel here that I can click on. So it brings it up. So I can select the year I want to view. So let me say I want to view the report for 2019, for instance. I select 2019 and I go back. So this adopts everything to 2019. And with the monthly trend as well. So there is another thing that they call tooltips. Let's say, for example, October performance. So this is showing like the breakdown for the top 5 supervisors. You can also use this tooltip to show something like actual versus budget. So this is just some few things that you can do with Power BI. And again, for these sales, for instance, if I want to say by product, by supervisor, I just need to click on this supervisor here. It impacts everything. And it also impacts the product. You can see for car loan, for instance. So this person sold 11 million last year, 9 million this year. So you can see it's a 17.9% drop. So I can drill down by different type of loans and I can see what is happening there. So when I clicked on this guy, I saw that year-to-date growth is minus 5.5%. I can come here and see from which product is it coming from. I can readily see from here, I can see the car loan dropped, the personal expense loan dropped, the small scale loan dropped. That's like the big parts where the sales is lagging. So on a single dashboard, you can get as much information as you want, which would have otherwise has I've gotten through multiple PowerPoints or multiple Excel files. You can get it on one dashboard. Okay, so I think we can just go off the call and jump in back.